Buenas tardes, yo soy Señora Memije. Good afternoon, and my name is Mrs. Memije. I thought I'd show you what your students are seeing. I am using my iPad with my earbuds, so if you have a remote learner at home, or if you have a student in my second hour who has to be on a rotation schedule, this is what they're seeing. They use their iPads to watch me and to participate in class. I just wanted to introduce myself briefly. I am a graduate of SMCC 2000. I have a husband, a new freshman this year, Xavier, and a 7th grader, Xander, and my daughter Leela, who just started today the 3-year-old full-time program over at MCES, which my first hour got to see some tears because that was a tough transition from being with mom every single day and now going to school, which she's never done before. So please pray for us and for my daughter, for my family, as I will be praying for all of you as we begin the school year with all of these new changes. I just wanted to let you know some of my background. I've been teaching since 2006. And I started my career in English as a second language. I was a bilingual facilitator and translator for Wayne County RESA, which is sort of like the ISD in Wayne County. I was sent around to lots of different schools. My first assignment, I had 12 different districts that I went to. Shortly after that, I was placed in River Rouge and was there full time because the number of Hispanics just continued to rise. And I loved serving the community there, translating for parents, starting new programs, doing the summer program for them for several years in a row, because it just was so fulfilling. It came a time where it was just exhausting. The last year that I was there, I was a 3rd grade teacher and I had 36 kids in my classroom. 8 of them had IEPs and no aid. And so our school was on the chopping block and the state was in there every day, and I just was so stressed out. And I was blessed to hear the news that SMCC's Spanish teacher had retired and was looking for a new teacher. So here I am back at home, and let me tell you, it feels like home here. So I feel like I am in the right place and I am just loving my job. So I hope that your students are feeling welcomed, and if they ever need anything, please feel free to have them stop by and talk. I'm a very open, talkative person. Here's my website up here. If you go to the SMCC site, to the teacher sites, I do still have a site. A lot of teachers are only doing their Google Classrooms now, but I do provide a site for parents to go to. On the home page, you'll just see some information about the beginning of the school year and then the links. I teach a Spanish 1 8th grade class. I teach the Spanish 2 classes here, and I have the Spanish 4 classes as well. I also go next door and teach an exploratory semester 7th grade course. And so my day is quite busy. If you click on the Señora Memije page, you can learn a little bit more about myself. I have some pictures there of my family. And Xavier was in the musical last year. I'm very proud of him. And so there are some other helpful links here. Under the drop-down box, there is in Espanol 1, 2, y 3, 4, sorry. There's 3 different tabs. If your students tap here, they'll find lots of different links to things that will help them maybe remember what they were taught last year. So that's a good place to go. And then on the last tab, you'll find the calendar. So if you have a Spanish 1 student or a Spanish 4 student, click on the correct class and you'll see the Google Classroom calendar here. And so once we start having more assignments and projects and tests due, that should pop up on the calendar. Right now, we've just kind of been easing into it. I also have a classroom for every class. So Spanish 4, for example, is verde, green, where they'll be given announcements on the stream or classwork on the classwork page. So we've been practicing with all of my classes to get acclimated. I do a lot of speaking Spanish in class, much more than from Spanish 1. So your students might be tired at the end of the day. And I have a lot of aids in my classroom to point to as we try to converse. I'm really trying to force them this year to speak more, to be more active. And so I have a video that I show them in the beginning of class every year that it's in English. And it's about daring to be. So I'm asking them if they could dare themselves this year, especially in this class, to dare to be confident, passionate, courageous, persistent, compassionate, active, and happy, because this will lead them to success. I ask them to drop their barriers before they come into class. If they walk in with an attitude of, I can't, I don't remember, that doesn't make sense, what is she saying? They've already built a wall, and they're not going to be able to listen with the intent of understanding, which is my #1 rule in class. Listen with the intention of understanding. So we will have projects, tests, quizzes. Those are under my assessment. That's worth 50% of their grade. They will have oral and so speaking and listening activities, which will be 20% of their grade, and 30% of their grade will be homework. Sometimes I give them a lot of little assignments to practice things that we've done in class throughout the day. It's very important that they look over and are practicing every night. Like I explained to the students just today, if you don't use it, you lose it. I know you've all heard that before. So we're reviewing right now from last year, and a lot of them can't remember. And I don't expect them to, because if they just are studying and cramming for the test, they're just gonna forget it all. So I try to work on reusing things as we go so that they see the importance of building upon in a language. And so that's how it works, right? When we're kids, we start to learn how to speak, and if we forget what our parents teach us, the next day we're starting at square one. You can't forget things that you were taught before in a language, or else you won't become more fluent. So it's very important, unlike in other subjects where they can cram and then forget, that they are really committed to being persistent and active about learning. I am definitely passionate about Espanol. Not everybody is equally, and I do not discriminate against students who are not interested. I always let them know, I only took 2 years in high school. I never thought I'd teach it or need it, but look at me now. God has a plan for us all that sometimes we don't understand ourselves. And so I pray that we stay safe, that we stay healthy, and that we can continue to have in-person class. I've just really enjoyed meeting your students, and we've had a great start to the new year. God bless. Que Dios les bendiga. Have a great night.